I've been an insurance agent for about 10 years, and I have never had, not one single time, have I had a phone call affect me like this one did. So I get a call from Bobby, fake name because HIPAA, and Bobby is 66 years old. Bobby worked all of his life and now has Medicare Part A and Part B. Bobby pays $185 a month for Medicare Part B, which as of January 1st will go up to $202 a month. Bobby is going through chemotherapy for throat cancer, and he tells me he's looking for a plan because he can no longer afford the $45 specialist copay, let alone the 20% coinsurance for chemotherapy, which comes out to be about $3,000 a month with insurance. Bobby gets nothing but a Social Security check of about $1,000 a month, roughly $200 of which goes right back into Medicare. Bobby was denied for Medicaid because he was $43 over the income limit to qualify. Bobby is totally blind. He also has nobody. Bobby is out of options. He can no longer afford his treatment. And do you know what Bobby said to me? This kind, gentle man who has never had so much as a parking ticket. He said, "Miss Larissa, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have refused the treatment. Because now I'm even sicker, the cancer is still there, and I've got $20,000 in hospital bills that I'm never going to be able to pay off before I die. Sometimes, I wish I would have just let the cancer take me out, because it would be better than struggling like this."
Y'all, I need to lock in, because every time I go to Target, Walmart, Dollar Tree, I keep seeing 80-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 60-year-olds working. Why is the elderly working? Like, I'm not about to work till the day that I die, but that's like what America wants. That's like, it's just crazy that like every time, it's like so often than like way before when I was like younger. Like now I'm seeing too many old people working at stores trying to make it by, and they're literally like about to die on their deathbed. Like, well, not on their deathbed, but like they're old as hell. They should not be working. And I just be like, I need to lock in. Like when I'm lazy, when I don't want to work, when I don't want to like get shit done, I'm like, I need to lock in, because by the time I'm at least 45, 50 years old, I'm not going to be freaking busting my ass working to pay bills. Like, I think it's ridiculous. And I think something in this country needs to change, because ain't no way there's freaking 70-year-olds working. They're weak as hell. They couldn't even bag my bags. It's just ridiculous. And it's like an eye opener. I'm like, I need to lock in, like, because this can't be me.
Hang neatly in the back seat of her car. Dry cleaning is the least of her concerns for this 78-year-old. She's been living in her car for nearly 2 months because she can't afford a place to live. Money is tight because her only income is Social Security. She's sold many of her possessions over the last few years, but she still doesn't have enough money. We spoke with her here in a well-lit parking lot.
Since I've been here, I sleep here in this seat, squinched down. My ankles and legs are swollen from having to sit all the time. I buy jug water, it's cheaper, and I eat one meal a day for $2.02, and then I get a free senior drink.
What kind of country does not protect its senior citizens? What kind of country forgets about the people who don't have family or any money or the wherewithal to navigate the system? So I work for a utility company, and I come across a lot of people in some pretty dire straits pretty often. And when you work there, you assume, that electricity is like number one that people need the most, and it's really hard. It's a tough job. Last year I met an elderly gentleman who was in a real pickle, and I was able to help him get his power. He's in the same situation again this year, and I went out there with another person to go assist him to try and get some help again for the bill, and learned today that his water has been shut off for over 2 years. And this man just got out of the hospital 3 weeks ago. He had fallen. They had to break his front door down, and they never fixed it, so his door's barricaded shut, and his backyard's overgrown completely to the point where you can't even get in or out of it. And my coworker had to cut access so that this man could hobble down the stairs to come meet with me to get help. He doesn't have the wherewithal to navigate the system. Sure, everyone goes, there's so many resources out there if you have your fucking ducks rode up, if you have a valid photo ID, if you have all your income documents, how do you help someone who doesn't have all the stuff that you need to get those resources? He was stuck in his home for 3 weeks with no one to check on him, no water, no fucking water. For 3 weeks. I don't know what he drank to be able to survive that long. He was begging me for water when I got there. I paid to have his water turned back on today because I could not leave a senior citizen like that with no one. But we need to protect our seniors. Like, he's just one of probably thousands in my area that are completely forgotten about. They have no family, no one to help them navigate the system, no one to check on them, no one to make sure they're eating food. Check on your neighbors. You see that neighbor's lawn who's 3 feet high and you're calling the city complaining about him? Go check on him. Go fucking check on him. See what they need from you.
What up, folks? So, hell, I just left my mama's house. Property tax notice, property tax notice, property tax notice. My mom's in her 60s, okay? She's living off Social Security at this point. If she gets any kind of fucking raise, and the thing is she doesn't make that much. I mean, it's like less than $1,500 a month. Nobody can fucking survive on that to begin with. Of course, even though she makes less than $1,500 a month, she gets no other kind of government assistance. It's just her Social Security. That's all she's got. But yet, property tax notice, this kind of notice. And if any kind of little raise that she gets, like, I think it was, they gave her an $18 raise or something. And you know what they did? They fucking cut off part of her damn benefits to fucking get her prescriptions and shit. I mean, this fucking government, the whole, it tells you what you got to fucking look forward to, okay? Number one, most of us won't see fucking Social Security. We just won't. It won't ever happen. We'll never see Social Security. Our kids definitely won't see it. And if you look, Social Security is one of the biggest portions they take out of your check. But they give so many people who don't pay into Social Security money out of Social Security, but the people who paid into Social Security all their lives, they get little bullshit amounts, you know? I mean, it's... You're paying into a system you'll never get nothing out of. All right, that's as quick. That's the only thing I can say about it. This country needs an overhaul. It really needs a overhaul. When I say an overhaul, I mean an overhaul. The fact that all these people are so afraid, and I know because I talk to people, and when I talk to these people, they say, yeah, I believe the same thing. I feel the same way, but I'm worried. Like, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to get on the government radar. I don't want them sending their little 3-letter agencies to be fucking with me and knocking on my door. And they're afraid. Even though they know the government's dead wrong. What's going on in this country is dead wrong. What's happening to the people who go to work and never fucking get anything, never get ahead at all because, hell, they just keep printing money. They keep printing money and giving it away. How long can you print money and fucking give it away before the system crashes? You take $2 trillion a year off American taxpayers and you just blow it. Like it ain't shit. Just blow it. Give it to everybody. Give it to foreign countries. Just give it away. $2 trillion a year you take off people. Hell, they lost an entire year's worth of tax money. They lost $2 trillion. And when you know what happened when they lost $2 trillion, they said, ah, fuck it. Throw it on the back of the debt. The American people will pay for it. If only people had balls enough to fucking come together and fix this shit. If only. And I don't worry about fucking what I say. And I'll tell you why I don't worry about what I say. Because I know I'm right. I know I'm justified. And if I'm right and I'm justified, if you're going to come after me, oh, folk, oh well. Just, oh well. So be it.
It's really kind of fun, except sometimes it can get kind of hot.
That's Gail Clay's assessment of more than a month of living in the SUV she outfitted with a bed.
Now I just have some camping mats that I use.
When we first met in July,
And the platform will just sit along the here.
her rent had nearly doubled at Silverwood Apartments in Tempe. The now 63-year-old decided living in her car just made more financial sense.
Now I'd rather pay my car note and just enjoy life.
And for the most part, she has been.
It's a choice that I honestly make every day if I want to be sane or if I want to be insane.
But a bill from her old apartment's new property manager is threatening to push her to the edge.
I got a bill for $9,000 that this was going to happen. I cleaned my stove, I cleaned my tub, I cleaned everything.
And about those keys.
I sent my keys through certified mail.
Contacted the management company about the bill, but says she hasn't heard back. Neither has ABC 15.
Well, it feels like retaliation.
Fighting for her old home while trying to find a new one in senior communities.
You have a waiting list of about 2 to 3 years.
And between Social Security and massage therapy, she makes too much for help, but not enough to rent a place.
It's a catch-22, but I'm not caught because I don't mind staying in my car.
But when it all becomes too much, her comforter becomes a reminder.
When I get overwhelmed, Gail, breathe. This is only temporary. Gail, breathe.
20 states sued. A federal judge blocked the changes. Congress stepped in and protected some funding. But 170,000 people, including thousands of elderly Americans, spent months not knowing if their housing would exist in 6 months. Then in June 2024, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 in Grants Pass versus Johnson, giving every city in America legal authority to fine and arrest seniors for sleeping in their vehicles. More than 100 cities passed new camping bans in 6 months after that ruling. In San Diego, the official police training bulletin says vehicle habitation is unlawful from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And a bipartisan congressional commission warned about this exact crisis in a report called A Quiet Crisis in America in 1999, 26 years ago. No new public housing since 1973. No new rental assistance since the 1980s. They saw it coming. They cut the systems that could have stopped it. So let's talk about where this actually goes. Not ideology, not politics, just the numbers that are already locked in. By 2034, for the first time in American history, there will be more older adults than children in this country. The population aged 80 and older grows 36.6% in the next 9 years. And the number of adults over 75 living completely alone, no spouse, no kids nearby, nobody to catch them, is projected to more than double by 2040. Now add this. The Social Security Trust Fund depletes around 2032 to 2033. If Congress does nothing, and based on 26 years of watching Congress handle this issue, that is not an unreasonable assumption, the benefits get automatically cut by up to 24%. For someone getting $2,081 a month, that's $499 gone. For someone on SSI, $232 less. For the 25% of seniors who already rely on Social Security for 90% or more of their income, that cut makes paying any rent anywhere mathematically impossible. Researchers who modeled what happens next came up with these ranges for older adults unsheltered on a single night by 2036. Best case, if housing and benefits actually improve, $50,000 to $70,000. Current trajectory continuing, $85,000 to $110,000. Worst case, if the trust fund cuts hit, enforcement keeps intensifying and housing stays unaffordable, $120,000 to $160,000 older adults. Unsheltered, every single night. Now picture what that looks like. No tent cities, senior vehicle colonies, parking lots functioning as informal retirement communities, RVs with extension cords running between them, wheelchair lifts, portable oxygen tanks, widows sleeping in minivans next to shopping centers. Emergency rooms slowly becoming America's default elder care system for people who can't refrigerate their insulin or power their CPAP machines in an old sedan. Assisted living averages $70,800 a year. Skilled nursing runs over $111,000. The median annual Social Security benefit is $20,520. There is no bridge between those numbers. So where do people go? The parking lot. Gen X and millennials, they have less savings, less home ownership, no pensions, more debt, higher housing costs. Watching the safety net their parents were promised get dismantled in real time. The same conditions are waiting for them when they get there. The parking lot stops being a last resort. It becomes the plan. Most documentaries would end here. Fade to black. Everything's broken. Donate somewhere. But people are already living this. Reality stopped waiting for institutions a long time ago. When systems stop functioning, communities either collapse or build something new. The nomad community already built something. Apps like iOverlander map safe overnight locations in real time. Someone gets sighted or swept, they post it within minutes. Everyone in the area knows. Churches and nonprofits run safe parking programs with electricity, bathrooms, and case managers, specifically because federal funding for this barely exists.
Tell me why I came to Texas Thrift. I don't know if you can tell. I love shopping at the thrift store. There's no point in buying new stuff. It's expensive, and I'd rather just wear something that's more economically friendly. Although thrift stores aren't as economically friendly as they used to be. But so tell me why, right? I'm here, I'm shopping, get in line, I'm behind this old lady, and then they call me up to the register because, you gotta wait in line. And this little lady's there, and so the cashier, she tells me, like, hey, can you translate what she's asking me? She goes, because she needs, I don't understand Spanish. And I was like, well, my Spanish ain't great, but yeah, sure, I'll do it. So I asked her in Spanish, hey, how can I help you? And so she tells me that, I swear, she looks like she's like 80 something years old. And she looks at me and she tells me, I'm looking for a job. She goes, I need something part-time. I need to supplement my income, my Social Security, because I'm not making ends meet right now, and it's just me by myself, and I just need to make a little bit of extra money. And can you ask if they're hiring? Even if it's just part-time. She goes, like, I just need a job. So I translate that to the cashier, and I let her know, like, hey, this is what she said, right? And she goes, hold on, let me get a manager, right? So then the manager shows up, and then she lets the manager know. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. She lets the manager know, and then the manager is like, she takes a look at her, and she's such a sweet little old lady, and she takes a look at her and she goes, yeah, and she makes this face. That face you make when you're like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. She made that face to the cashier, and they just exchanged this look, and she's like, yeah, we're not hiring at the moment. She goes, but she's welcome to look online. Now, looking at this little old lady, I know that she's not on social media, she's not online. And so they tell me, well, relay to her that we're not hiring. And I'm just, I hate the way things are here in the United States. And so I translate to her, what they said, and her face just falls, and she's just like, oh, I really need money, I really need help. So I ask her, like, hey, give me your information. I go, give me your information, and I go, like, and I got her phone number, and I'm like, Carolina is her name. And I go, Carolina, like, if I find something, I will let you know. Like, it's so sad that our older generation can't just retire and enjoy the remaining parts of their lives because they have to work in order to live in this economy. She should be at home baking cookies or just enjoying herself, and instead she's looking for a job. And it's so, it's so sad. It's so sad. I felt so bad, because why is she looking for a job at her age? And so if anyone's looking for something, anything, like, to help her, like, whether it's if you have little part-time jobs you do or anything, like, I don't know, I hate that she's in this predicament. I hate that she's having to look for a job. She's definitely in her 80s, and yeah, I just felt like I had to get that off my chest, because it was it felt so ugly coming out of there and seeing that she's just struggling. So hopefully I can find something for her. So, all right, guys, I got that off my chest now, so bye.
A woman in her 70s is short on housing options, so she's been living in her van, barely getting by.
78-year-old Beverly Jensen says it's hard not to notice this big blue van outside the Longmont Senior Center every time she comes to play cards. But she couldn't believe what was inside.
Noticed her.
Her is this woman in her mid-70s who didn't want to give out her name, so we are calling her Mary. She's been calling her van home for months.
In here I keep my food. This is just my bed. It's a real bed that's in the van originally. That's juice, that's tea.
That's where you relieve yourself?
Yeah.
She says sleeping in her makeshift home last night wasn't comfortable.
Last night I was so cold I was crying.
But that's the least of her daily struggles.
Yesterday was really hard getting food.
And a hot shower is a commodity.
Baby body wipes in the morning and night. That's my bath.
Mary says she tried to get help here at the Longmont Senior Center, but can't seem to find anyone that could help her.
It kind of hurts when I see all these fancy cars come in here in the morning and I'm freezing to death.
A mother spent all her savings to buy a house for her son, only to be kicked out by his wife. 78-year-old Caroline has been living on the streets for 2 months. She now stays in the car left behind by her late husband, the only property she still owns. Before the marriage, her son Ron was gentle and caring. After the wedding, everything changed. His wife Carter couldn't stand her mother-in-law's habits. One evening during dinner, Caroline couldn't eat the food Carter had cooked, and that became the breaking point. She doesn't respect me, Carter said. Ron said nothing. That night, Caroline was forced out of the house. Inside her car hang neatly folded clothes. In the trunk, dry cleaning bags, but she can no longer afford to use them. Her only income now is a small Social Security check, and that house had already drained her lifetime of savings. A neighbor tried to speak up for her, accusing Ron of being unfilial, but he shouted back,
"Now, excuse me. You might not like the mother-in-law for whatever apparent reason. But to kick a 78-year-old woman out and have her sleep in her car is outrageous." My friends, what y'all think about this horrible situation that her son should have stood up for his mother? I'm confused.
You start to get to wonder if they just want us to just drop off the face of the planet, you know. It's aggravating, and it makes me angry to see this. That we can't do better as a nation in helping our seniors have safe, stable housing. What's so hard about it? We can spend billions of dollars overseas, but we can't take care of our senior population. What about our younger generations that is coming up behind us? No job prospects. You got people out here putting 1,000 applications and not getting any calls. And the only thing that they're doing is harvesting all their personal data. Figure that one out. Yeah, it ain't right, guys. It's disturbing. But I guess I'm just off on a rant today. I don't know. Got off the wrong side of the bed, maybe. I just thought I'd bring this up today because it's concerning to me. Now, for me, I've made it work for over 3 years. So I've got it pretty well scienced out. No, it ain't perfect. It ain't pretty. But it functions. But it's something to think about today, guys. And I thought I'd drop that question on you. After all, where are we going to go? Where are they going to put us? What's left? When the money runs out, what do? You got to get creative, guys. I know a lot of my viewers out here are saying, "Oh, I'd like to do what you're doing." Well, you better think it through. Plan ahead. Plan what you're going to need, because it's not an easy lifestyle. It's not as easy as it looks. Just go park a camper somewhere and then, life is rosy. Well, it's not. There's a lot of hard work to do. There's things you have to take in consideration. So I want to encourage you to do your homework and do your research if you're going to try to do something like this. I'm getting ready to make a move to my own property here pretty soon. I made a video on that the other day. I'll link it down below. And I'll be taking you on that journey to show you how to set up a completely off-grid homestead. And again, it's not going to be pretty, guys. It's going to be rough around the edges. And as a person that's over 60, it's going to take a little time and effort. But you know what? I'd rather do that on my terms than having to live by their terms. And so I'm excited about that. I'm going to be showing you the journey along the way, the steps I'm going to be taking to make it all happen. But I wanted you guys to realize this, I'm not the only one out here doing this. And truth be told, the number is probably 3 times higher than what they're telling us. Because so many people are having to do this on the down low. They've got to do it out of sight, out of mind. Because we have a lot of states in this country that push back on people doing this on private land. And they're using zoning restrictions and things like that, and ordinances, and pardon the French, bullshit rules in order to limit this as an optional lifestyle. And so I just, it just got me thinking today about it, and I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing now while I still can. And if you do buy a piece of property, make sure you research it, and make sure that zoning is permitted, that you're buying unrestricted land, so that allows you to be able to do this. A lot of people make the mistake, well, I'm going to buy this type of land. And guess what? Then they find out through code enforcement, oh, you can't do this. Now you've wasted all that money buying a piece of land. You can't live the way you want to on. So do your homework, guys. I really encourage it. Another thing I wanted to bring up, and that was, gee, I lost my train of thought just that quick. It happens. But anyways, yeah, it's just something to think about today, guys. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. And they're really trying to force us. They're trying to keep us funneled into the extraction machine. Keep you paying high dollar rent. And so what happens to seniors when they can't pay rent? You can only pay so much of your checkout. Then after that, you got your utilities, you got your medications, you've got to buy food, you got to buy gas. Well, there's only so many dollars. What are you going to do? So if you're going to try to think about living a lifestyle like this, do your homework, plan ahead, and just take it one step at a time, guys. It's not the easiest lifestyle, but it is a much more affordable way to live. And you can bring your costs down to the point where you can make it work. There are some good parks out there that charge $500 a month. Well, $500 a month is a lot better than $1,200 and $1,500 a month for an apartment. And with rising property taxes that we're seeing today, I don't know. That's what priced me out of my home, was property taxes and utilities. Even here, it's just, with electricity in our state, it's going